Oh, so many person want to read the prayer. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
I can recite, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Just right, I need to sit. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana-Chimilandasyam Gyananjana Shalakayam Chaksun Militam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaham Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Upakadamayam Dadati Swam Padamtikam Andeham Shri Guru Shiyutam Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shilupam Sagajatam Saganalagunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shilada Krishnam Padan Saganalalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Lada Kanta Namustute Tapta Kanchana Golangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascham Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Titanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Golavani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dishatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Wonderful, Prabhu. You
Very
gave me
well.
goosebumps. Very wonderful, Prabhu.
Oh,
I hope it's
Grishla
recorded.
Prabhupada.
Expert.
Narayanam namaskrityam nalam chaiva nalotamam Divim salasvatim yasam tato jayam mudilayet Shrinvatam swakata krishnam punyashlavana kirtanaham Vijantasto yabhadrani vidunoti sulitsatam Nastap Prayeshvabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavachuttama shloke bhaktil bhavati naishtiki. Before reciting this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vasudev, the author. Śrīmad. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma Super Soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire from material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his message, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted.
Very well. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Can I read one or two verses?
Yes, Prabhu.
What chapter is that? I didn't see.
21. Instructions of Maharaj Prithu.
Oh, really? Okay. Just wait. I'm on my phone. I don't see properly, but try. Yeah, thank you very much. Manoluttanapadashyam Dhruvasyapi Mahipate Priyavratasya Rajasel Angasya Matpitu Pitu Idrishanam Atanyesham Ajasya Cha Babasya Cham Prahladasya Balishchapim Krityamasti Gada Blitta. Manoho of Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, Uttapadasya of Uttapada, the father of Dhruva Maharaj, Dhruvasya of Dhruva Maharaj, Api, certainly, Mahipate of the great king Priyavlastasya of Priyavlata, in the family of Maharaj Dhruva, Lajarsehe, of great saintly kings, Angasya of the name Anga, Asmat my Pituhu of my father, Pituhu of the father, Idrishanam of such personalities, Atta also, Anyesham of order, Ajasya of the supreme immortal, Cha also, Bhavasya of the living entity, Cha also, Praladasya of Maharaj Prahlad, Palehe of Maharaj Pali, Cha also Api, certainly, Krityam acknowledged by them, Asti, there is Gada Britta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who carries a club. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. This is confirmed not only by the evidence of the Veda, but also by the personal behavior of the great personalities like Manu, Uttanapada, Dhruva, Priyavlata, and my grandfather, Anga, as well as by many other great personalities and ordinary living entity exemplified by Maharaj, Prahlad, and Bali, all of whom are theists who believe in the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who carries a club. Purport. Narottama Das Thakur states that one has to ascertain the right path for his activities by following in the footsteps of great saintly person and books of knowledge under the guidance of a spiritual master, Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakya. A saintly person is one who follows the Vedic injunctions, which are the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Guru refers to one who gives proper direction under the authority of the Vedic injunction and according to the example of the lives of great personality. The best way to mold one's life is to follow in the footsteps of the authorized personalities like those mentioned herein by Prithu Maharaj, beginning with Swayambhuva Manu. The safest path in life is to follow such great personalities, especially those mentioned in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The Mahajan, or great personalities, are Brahma, Lord Shiva, Narada Muni, Manu, the Kumaras, Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Yamala, Bhishma, Janaka, Shukadev Goswami, and Kapila Muni. Text 30. Dari Tradin Ritem Lityohum Shauchandalma Vimohitan Valga Swalgappa Valganam Playenai Katmya Hitunam Dauli Talahadin, grandson like my father, Vena Ritte, except Mlityo of personified death, Shauchan, abominable, Dharma Vimohitam, bewildered on the path of religiosity, Valga, religion, economic development, sense gratification and liberation. Swarga, elevation to the heavenly planets. Apavalganam, being freed from material contamination. Prayana, almost always. Eka, one. Atmya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Etuna, on account of translation. Hatro, abominable person like my father, Vena, the grandson of death personified, are bewildered on the path of religion. All the great personalities, like those mentioned, agree that in this world, the only bestower of the benediction of religion, economic development, sense gratification, liberation, or elevation to the heavenly planet is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. King Vena, the father of Prithu Maharaj, was condemned by the Brahmana and saintly person due to his denying the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and rejecting the method of satisfying him by performance of Vedic sacrifice. In other words, he was an atheist who did not believe in the existence of God and who consequently stopped all Vedic ritualistic ceremony in his kingdom. Prithu Maharaj considered his character abominable because he was foolish regarding the execution of religious performances. Atheists are of the opinion that there is no need to accept the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be successful in religion, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation. According to them, Dharma or religious principles are meant to establish an imaginary God to encourage one to become moral, honest, and just so that the social order may be maintained in peace and tranquility. Furthermore, they say that actually there is no need to accept God for this purpose. For if one follows the principles of morality and honesty, that is sufficient. Similarly, if one makes nice plans and works very hard for economic development, automatically the result of economic development will come. Demoniac mentality. Similarly, sense gratification also does not depend on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For if one earns enough money by any process, he will have sufficient opportunity for sense gratification. So far as liberation is concerned, they say that there is no need to talk of liberation because after death, everything is finished. Prithu Maharaj, however, does not accept the authority of such a atheist. Headed by his father, who was the grandson of death personified, generally, a daughter inherits the qualities of her father, and a son gets the quality of his mother. Oh, this is really bad for me. Thus, Mrityu's daughter, Sunita, got all the qualities of her father, and Vena inherit the qualities of his mother. So my son inherit the quality of his mother. Yeah. A person who is always subject to the rules and regulation of repeated birth and death cannot accommodate anything beyond materialistic ideas. Since King Vena was such a man, he did not believe in the existence of God. Modern civilization agrees with the principle of God Vena, of Kid Vena, but factually, if we scrutinizingly study all the conditions of religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, we must accept the principle of the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to the Vedic literature, religion consists only of the codes of law given by God. If one does not, one time I said this to someone. I said, online, when I was on YouTube, I said, actually religion, because Prabhupada said this a lot. He said, religion is the law of God. This is only law of God, And they became crazy on the commentary, What are you saying? What law?
Yes,
They
Prabhu.
became crazy, Prabhu. I just experienced this, I threw this on a preaching online, and then they became crazy on the. I think it was some Mohammedans or something like that.
Yes, Prabhu.
If one does not accept the authority of the Supreme Godhead in matters of origin and morality, one must explain why two persons of the same moral standard achieve different results. It is generally found that even if two men have the same moral standards of ethic, honesty and morality, their positions are still not the same. Similarly, in economic development, it is seen that if two men work very hard day and night, still the results are not the same. One person may enjoy great opulence without even working, whereas another person, also working very hard, does not even get to sufficient meal a day. Similarly, in the matter of sense gratification, sometimes one who has sufficient food is still not happy in his family affairs, or sometimes it's not even married. Whereas another person, even though not economically well off, has the greatest opportunity for sense gratification. Even an animal like a hog or a dog may have greater opportunities for sense gratification than a human being. Aside from liberation, even if we consider only the preliminary necessities of life, dharma, artha, and karma, religion, economic development, and sense gratification, we will see that they are not the same for everyone. Therefore, it must be accepted that there is someone who determines the different standards. This is so clever. In conclusion, not only for liberation must one depend on the Lord, but even for ordinary necessities in the material world. Prithu Maharaj therefore indicate that in spite of having rich parents, children are sometimes not happy. Similarly, in spite of valuable medicine administered by a competent physician, sometimes a patient dies. Or in spite of having a big safe boat, sometimes a man drowns. I don't know why I had this picture of this video that you show me, that this Finnish man who who just died,
Yes,
alone. I don't know
yeah.
why it suddenly appeared in my mind. It's crazy. We may
Yeah.
thus struggle to counteract impediments offered by material nature, but our attempts cannot be successful unless we are favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So others can read. I don't want to always read. So thank you very much for the opportunities.
So much,
Please
Prabhu.
forgive me for the offenses. Vanchakalpatarubhyacha, Kripasindubhyavacha, Patitanam Bhavanibhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Namo Namaham. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Haribol.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Haribol.
Who would like to continue? We have like 20 minutes.
I can, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Haribol.
Just a minute. Okay, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Which text is this, Prabhu? Yat Pada Seva Biri. Okay, 31. Yes, Prabhu. Yat pada seva biru chis tapas vinam ashesha janmo pachitam malam di yaha sadhyaha kshinoti anvaham edati sati yata padang gushta vini hasta ha hasrata sarti vini hasrata sarti. Synonyms: Yat pada, whose lotus feet; seva, service; abi, ruchi, inclination; tapas, vinam, persons undergoing severe penance; ashesha, innumerable; janma, birth; upachitam, acquire; malam, dirtiness; the yaha, mind; sadhyaha, immediately; noti, destroys; anvaham, day after day; edati, increasing; sati, being; yata, as; padangushta, padangushta, the toes of his lotus feet; vini hasrata, emanating from; sariti, water. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during innumerable births, like the Ganga's water, which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord. Such a process immediately cleanses the mind, and thus spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases. Can I reread, Prabhu? By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during innumerable births. Like the Ganga waters which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord. Such a process immediately cleanses the mind, and thus spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases. Purport. In India, one can actually see that a person who takes a bath in the Ganga's waters daily is almost free from all kinds of diseases. A very respectable Brahmana in Calcutta never took a doctor's medicine, even though he sometimes felt sick. He would not accept medicine from the physician, but would simply drink Ganga waters, and he was always cured within a very short time. The glories of Ganga's waters are known to Indians and to ourselves also. The river Ganga flows by Calcutta. Sometimes within the waters there are many stools and other dead things which are washed away from neighboring mills and factories. But still, thousands of men take baths in the Ganga waters, and they are very healthy as well as spiritually inclined. That is the effect of the Ganga waters. The Ganga is very glorified because it emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord. Similarly, if one takes to the service of the lotus feet of the Lord or takes to Krishna consciousness, he is immediately cleansed of the many dirty things which have accumulated in his innumerable births. We have seen that in spite of the very black record of their past lives, persons who take to Krishna consciousness very swiftly become perfectly cleansed of all dirty things and make spiritual progress. Therefore, Prithu Maharaj advises that without the benediction of the Supreme Lord, one cannot make advancement either in so-called morality, economic development, or sense gratification. One should therefore take to the service of the Lord or Krishna consciousness and thus very soon become a perfect man as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Kshipram bhavati dharmat atma shashvak chantim nigachati nigachati. Being a responsible king, Prithu Maharaj recommends that everyone take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus sorry, and thus be immediately purified. Lord Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that simply by surrendering unto him, one is immediately relieved of all sinful reactions, as Krishna takes away all the sinful reactions of a person immediately upon his surrender unto him. Similarly, the external manifestation of Krishna, the representative of Krishna who acts as the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, takes all the resultant actions of the sinful life of the disciple immediately after the disciple's initiation. Thus, if the disciple follows the principles instructed by the spiritual master, he remains purified and is not contaminated by the material infection. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore stated that the spiritual master who plays the part of Krishna's representative has to consume all the sinful reactions of his disciple. Sometimes a spiritual master takes the risk of being overwhelmed by the sinful reactions of the disciples and undergoes a sort of tribulation due to their acceptance. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised that one not accept many disciples. So, Prabhu, is there? I remember there was one thing that they said, like the Gangas, like everyone will wash his sin in there, but then the sages they take the sins away. Is it something like? Is there something like that, ne, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, I've heard it.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, and Ganga didn't want to come down here because all the sinful persons will come. Then Vishnu said this, but the holy persons will also.
Oh, yes, Prabhu.
Something like this. I don't remember fully. Maybe someone can
Oh, yes,
explain here.
I remember.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
The pure
Yes, Prabhu.
devotees will come there.
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, text 32. Vinir the who, okay. Vinir the who ta shesha mano malaha puman. Asanga Vigyana Vishesha Viryavan Yad Angari Mule Krita Ketana Punya Na Samsritim Klesha Vaham Prapadyate. Okay, Vinir Duda being specifically cleansed. Ashesha, unlimited. Manaha Mala, mental speculation or the debt accumulated in the mind. Puman, the person. Asanga, being disgusted. Yeah. Vijnana, scientifically. Vishesha, particularly. Viryavan, being strengthened in Bhakti Yoga. Yad, whose Angari, lotus feet. Mule, at the root of Krita Ketana, taken shelter, Punaha, again, na, never, some Sartim, material existence, Klesha Vaham, full of miserable conditions, Prapa Dyate, takes two. Translation: when a devotee takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is completely cleansed of all misunderstanding or mental speculation, and he manifests renunciation. This is possible only when one is strengthened by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Once having taken shelter at the root of the lotus feet of the Lord, a devotee never comes back to this material existence, which is full of the threefold miseries. Purport: as stated by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshashtaka, instructions by the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can go down, Prabhu. Or by the process of hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord, one's mind is gradually cleansed of all debt due to our material association since time immemorial. We have accumulated heaps of dirty things in our minds. The total effect of this takes place when a living entity identifies himself with his body and is thus entrapped by the stringent laws of material nature and put into the cycle of repeated birth and death under the false impression of bodily identification. When one is strengthened by practicing Bhakti Yoga, his mind is cleansed of this misunderstanding and he is no longer interested in material existence or in sense gratification. Bhakti or devotional service is characterized by vairagya or jnana. Is it jnana? Jnana refers to understanding that one is not his body, and vairagya means disinterest in sense gratification. These two primary principles of separation from material bondage can be realized on the strength of Bhakti Yoga. Thus, when a devotee is fixed in the loving service of the lotus feet of the Lord, he will never come back to this material existence. Can go down, Prabhu. After quitting his body, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita by the Lord, Tyaktva deham punya janma na iti mam eti so Arjuna. In this verse, the word vijnana is specifically important. Jnana, the knowledge of spiritual identity that one attains when he does not consider himself to be the body. It is explained in Bhagavad Gita as Brahma Bhuta, the revival of spiritual realization. In the conditioned state of material existence, one cannot be spiritually realized because he identifies himself materially. The understanding of the distinction between material existence and spiritual existence is called jnana. After coming to the platform of jnana or the Brahma Bhuta state, one unlimitedly comes to the devotional service in which he completely understands his own position and the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This understanding is explained here as Vijnana Vishesha. The Lord says, therefore, that knowledge of him is Vijnana, science. In other words, when one is strengthened by scientific knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his position of liberation is guaranteed. In the Bhagavad Gita also, the science of devotional service is described as pratyaksha vagamam dharmayam, direct understanding of the principles of religion by realization. Bhagavad Gita 9.2. By practicing Bhakti Yoga, one can directly perceive his advancement in spiritual life. In other practices like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga, one may not be confident about his progress. Yeah, true. But in Bhakti Yoga, one can become directly aware of his progress in spiritual life, just as a person who eats can understand that his anger is satisfied. Our false appetite for enjoyment and lordship over the material world is due to a prominence of passion and ignorance. By Bhakti Yoga, these two qualities are diminished and one becomes situated in the mode of goodness. Gradually surpassing the mode of goodness, one is situated in pure goodness, which is not contaminated by the material qualities. When thus situated, a devotee no longer has any doubt. He knows that he will not come back to this material world. Yeah, I think I read this in Bhagavad Gita 14.22 to 25, something like that. It actually talks about when you want to transcend to higher than the mode of goodness.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, bro. Text 33. Tam eva yuyam bhajat atma virtabihi mano vachaha kaya gunahi sva karmabihi amai na ha karma dugagnir pankajam yata dikaravasi tarata sidayaha. Synonyms: tam, unto him, ever, certainly, yam, all you citizens, bhajata, worship, atma, own, virta, bihi, occupational duty, manaha, mind, vachaha, words, kaya, body, gunahi, by the particular qualities, sva karmabi, by occupational duties, ama inaha, without reservation, kama duga, fulfilling all desires. Angiri, Pankajam, the lotus feet, Yata, as far as Adikara, ability, Ava, Sita, Artha, fully convinced of one's interest, Siddha, satisfaction. Translation: Prithu Maharaj advised his citizens, engaging your minds, your words, your bodies, and the results of your occupational duties, and being always open minded. You should all render devotional service to the Lord according to your abilities and the occupations in which you are situated. You should engage your service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. Then surely you will be successful in achieving the final objective in your lives. Can I take a
Yes,
screenshot, Prabhu?
Prabhu. You can read again.
Yeah, I can still read it again. It's actually great.
Yes,
Prithu
Prabhu,
Maharaj.
this is what
Yes,
the
Prabhu.
president should now be reading to the. This is what
Oh,
should be in
yes.
television. The president should announce this.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. You remind me of the way there was I think there was a clip where His Divine Grace was at I think it was an interview, at a TV.
Yes, Prabhu.
He was asked, he actually told the minister that if the government does not teach God consciousness or spiritual consciousness, it is leading the society to hell. He actually said it directly
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
without even jokes. He was
French
like,
people.
oh, yes, Prabhu.
Oh, this is really nice verse, but I don't have it in the notes.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you can wait, Prabhu. We'll wait. 4.21:31. Actually, I don't have a pen here. I hope I'll remember it. 4:21:30. Is it 33?
Yes.
So Prabhu, yeah, Prithu Maharaj like owned like 7 islands. Was it 7 islands? Like Africa, Europe, what?
Yes, Prabhu. So it is 4:21. Or in this fourth chapter, the fourth canto, there is many of this kind upcoming.
Oh, yes, yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, seems like next chapter and the 22 and 23 is full of, and 24 are full of like notable verses.
Yes, yes. So Prabhu, like let's say you have this, like you see, like you have your notes inside, and you have your laptop next to you. Like if you use it to preach, like do you search words? Like if someone speaks of money, you'll search money. If someone speaks of marriage, you'll search marriage. If
Yes, Prabhu.
someone speaks of sin, is it like that?
Yes, Prabhu. If I remember
Oh,
some
yes.
verses somewhere.
Oh, yes, yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Then I just search where I remember this.
Because I do it at my phone actually.
Yes, Prabhu. But sometimes I forgot what is there. Then I go through the headlines again. Then I see really nice verses if I go through them.
Oh, yes, yes, Prabhu. Oh, Prabhu, and I'm actually reading Perfect Questions along with the Gita again. I missed the book. I did not read it before actually.
Yes, Prabhu.
And it's actually great, Prabhu.
Which one?
Perfect questions, perfect answers.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, it's a really nice one. It's a conversation, I think.
Yes, yes. Like a dialogue. Yeah, should I reread, right?
Yeah, let's read it.
Translation: Prithu Maharaj advised his citizens, engage your minds, your words, your bodies, and the results of your occupational duties, and being always open-minded. You should all render devotional service to the Lord according to your abilities and the occupations in which you are situated. You should engage your service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. then surely you will be successful in achieving the final objective in your lives. Purport. As stated in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Sva Karmana Tam Abhyachar Abhyarchaya. One has to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his occupational duties. This necessitates accepting the principle of 4 Varanas and 4 Arsharams. Prithu Maharaj therefore says, Gunahi Sva Karma Bihi. This phrase is explained in Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varnayam, Maya Shishtam, Guna Karma Vibhaga Shaha. The 4 castes, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, are created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to the material modes of nature and the particular duties discharged in those modes. A person who is situated in the mode of goodness is certainly more intelligent than others. Therefore, he can practice the Brahminical activities, namely speaking the truth, controlling the senses, controlling the mind, remaining always clean, practicing tolerance, having full knowledge about one's self-identity, and understanding devotional service. In this way, if he engages himself in the loving service of the Lord as an actual Brahmana, his aim to achieve the final interest of life is attained. Similarly, the Kshatriya's duty are to give protection to the citizens, to give all his possessions in charity, to be strictly Vedic in the management of state affairs, and to be unafraid to fight whenever there is an attack by enemies. In this way, a Kshatriya can defend. Where is it? Kshatriya can fight. Kshatriya can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his occupational duties. Similarly, a Vaishya can satisfy the Supreme Godhead by properly executing his occupational duties, engaging himself in producing foodstuffs, giving protection to cows, and trading if necessary. When there is an excess of agricultural production, similarly, because they do not have ample intelligence, Shudras should simply engage as workers to serve the higher status of social life. Everyone's aim should be to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can go down, bro. Personality of Godhead by engaging his mind in thinking always of Krishna, his words in always offering prayers to the Lord or preaching about the glories of the Lord, and his body in executing the service required to satisfy the Lord. As there are 4 divisions within our body, the head, the arms, the belly, and the legs. Similarly, human society taken as a whole is divided into 4 classes of men. Wow, I was not aware of that. Can I go back a little bit? Okay, yeah, not back, like on the same sentence, Prabhu. Not up. You can just there. Just want to repeat that sentence. You can go down. No, like up. Oh, sorry, up. I'm saying down. Yes. Yeah, as there are 4 divisions, you can see that after the full stop. As there are 4, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line, 6. Yeah, they as they are. Yeah, service required too. As there are 4 divisions. I was not aware of this. As there are 4 divisions within our body, the head, the arms, the belly. And I remember Prabhu, like Prahlad Bhakta Prabhu was actually preaching about this, that the head was the Brahmana, like the hands are the Kshatriyas, the belly is like the Vaishyas, something like the legs is the Shudras, something like that.
Yes,
Gave that example actually, yes. Oh.
he did this one.
The head, the arms, the belly, and the legs. Similarly, human society taken as a whole is divided into 4 classes of men according to their material qualities and occupational duties. Thus, the Brahminical or intelligent men have to execute the duty of the head. The Kshatriyas must fulfill the duty of the arms. The Vaishyas classes the Vaishya class must fulfill the duty of the belly, and the Shudras must fulfill the duty of the legs. In executing the prescribed duties of life, no one is higher or lower, for although there are such divisions as higher and lower, since there is actually a common interest to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are no distinctions between them. The question may be raised that since the Lord is supposed to be worshipped by great demigods like Brahma, Lord Shiva, and others, how can an ordinary human being on this planet serve him? So, Prabhu, like, I just wanted to ask, like, in the Satya Yoga, like, are there sutras still, or does it change, or there is no Varna Ashram in the Satya Yoga?
All are Shudra.
Or like in the Satya Yoga, Prabhu, like not in Kali Yoga, Prabhu.
Satya Yuga.
Yes, yes.
I think there's
Satya
always
Yuga,
Shudras to work.
Or is it all Brahman? Sorry, Prabhu.
So there's Shudras also to work.
yeah. The
But they are more
Varnashram
higher
Dharma
quality.
was, the Varnashram Dharma was perfect at those time, actually.
Yes, Prabhu. This is like,
Oh, yes.
like asking, this is like asking where they're, because it was explained that they are all parts of the body. So parts of the body are always required, and they're as important as each other body. Even though,
Oh, it's like I'm asking if there were legs.
yes, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
asking if there is two heads.
Meaning the Brahmanas. So meaning Prabhu, in this age we are using just our legs because they say we are all Shudras.
Yes, Prabhu.
But
No
there is a
mind,
verse
no.
like this concerning the bull. In Kali Yuga,
yeah.
the bull is standing on one leg.
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, yes, Prabhu.
In the first canto, there is a verse like this, right? I forget the chapter, but yeah.
Is it the bull
So
and the cow, Prabhu? The religion
it's a
in the
bull.
what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bull. I forgot the chapter. Forget. But it's in the first canto.
First Canto, Prabhu, 16th chapter.
Yes, Prabhu.
16.
Yeah, I think it's about Parikshit Maharaj. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu, and this,
Yeah.
the legs means like force and power, because legs are the working thing that move the body and all the work. So now everything is being led by, force, and like this, you can like kind of see.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I get it.
Everything
So
is
meaning
wide.
it's like we are a bunch
even
of
the leader.
workers rather than thinkers, yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Where did we live?
Like a little bit up. Kshatriyas, I think up, Prabhu, not down. I haven't read about the Ramunjaracharya. Can go.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Sorry.
Yeah, I think you should still go up somewhere there. The question may be raised that since. Were we there, Prabhu? Or is it a little bit up again? Oh, yeah, somewhere here in executing the prescribed duties. Can you see that? We can start it from. In executing the prescribed duties of life, no one is higher or lower, for although there are such divisions as higher and lower, since there is actually a common interest to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are no distinctions between them. The question may be raised that since the Lord is supposed to be worshipped by great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and others, how can an ordinary human being on this planet serve him? This is clearly explained by Prithu Maharaj by the use of the words Yada Adi Kara. According to one's ability, if one sincerely executes his occupational duty, that will be sufficient. One does not need to become like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, Lord Chaitanya, or Ramunja Acharya. whose capabilities are certainly far above ours. Even a Shudra who is in the lowest stage of life, according to their material qualities, can achieve the same success. Anyone can become successful in devotional service provided he displays no duplicity. It is explained here that one must be very frank and can go down, Prabhu. Frank and open-minded. Ama inaha. To be situated in a lower status of life is not a disqualification for success in devotional service. The only qualification is that whether one is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, he must be open, frank, and free from reservations. Then, by performing his particular occupational duty under the guidance of a proper spiritual master, he can achieve the highest success in life, as confirmed by Lord himself. Striyo Vaishyas tata Shudraste pi yanti param gatim. Bhagavad Gita 9.32. It does not matter what one is, whether a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or a degraded woman. If he engages himself seriously in devotional service, working with body, mind, and intelligence, he is sure to be successful in going back home, back to Godhead. The Lord's lotus feet are described here as Kama Dugangri, Dughangri Panka Jam, because can go to Prabhu. Pankajam, because they have all power to fulfill the desires of everyone. A devotee is happy even in this life because although in material existence we have many needs, all his material needs are satisfied, and when he at last quits his body, he goes back home, back to Godhead without a doubt.
Okay, maybe one more. No, 3 per page. Okay, let's read this one more.
Okay, Prabhu. Asau ahineka guno duvaraha pretak vida dravya guna kriyo bihi sampadyate ratasya linga namabi
Prabhu,
vishuddha
may I read this verse? Lebong Prabhu,
Sorry, Prabhu.
may I read this?
Okay, no problem, Prabhu. You may. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu.
आसाइहाने को गुणोधर पृथक विध द्रव्य गुण क्रियोक्तिभिः संबध्यते अर्थस्य लिंग नामभिर ईशोद विज्ञानज्ञ स्वरूपतः असौ the supreme personality of Godhead here in this material world अनेक various गुण है qualities गुण transcendental अध्वर योग्य पृथक विध varieties physical elements गुण ingredients क्रिया performance uktiphai by the chanting different mantras Sampadhyate is worshipped. Earth, interest, asya, purpose, linga, form, naam, bhi, name, visuddha, without contamination. Vijnana, science, jnana, concentrated, sarupata in his own form. The translation and purport by His Divine Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental and not contaminated by this material world, but although he is concentrated spirit soul without material variety, for the benefit of the conditioned soul, he never The list accepts different types of sacrifice performed with various material elements, rituals, and mantras, and offered to the demigods under different names according to the interest and purpose of the performer. For material prosperity, there are recommendations in the Vedas for various types of yajna sacrifice. In Bhagavad Gita 3:10, it is confirmed that Lord Brahma created all living entities, including human beings and demigods, and advised them to perform yajna according to their material desires. Yajna Prachasrishta. These performances are called yajnas because their ultimate goal is to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishnu. The purpose of performing yajna is to get material benefit, but because the aim is to simultaneously satisfy the Supreme Lord, such yajnas have been recommended in the Vedas. Such a performance are of course known as karmakanda or material activities, and all material activities are certainly contaminated by the three modes of material nature. Generally, the karmakanda ritualistic ceremonies are performed in the mode of passion, yet the conditioned soul, both human beings and demigods, are obliged to perform these yajnas because without them one cannot be happy at all. Krishna Chakravarti Thakur comments that these Karmakanda ritualistic ceremonies, although contaminated, contains touch of devotional service. Because whenever there is a performance of any yajna, Lord Vishnu is given a central position. This is very important because even a tinge of bhakti purifies the material nature of the performance, which by devotional service gradually come to the transcendental position. Therefore, although such yajnas are superficially material activities, the results are transcendental. Such yajnas as Surya Yajna, Indra Yajna, Chandra Yajna, etc. are performed in the name of demigods. But these demigods are bodily parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demigods cannot accept sacrificial offering for themselves, but they can accept them for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just as a departmental tax collector of a government cannot collect taxes for his personal account, but uh, can, re- can realize them for the government. Any yajna performed with this complete knowledge and understanding is described in Bhagavad Gita as Brahmarpanam, or a sacrifice offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since no one but the Supreme Lord can enjoy the result of all set of sacrifice, the Lord says that He is the actual enjoyer of all sacrifice. Bhoktaram Nityantapsam Sarvalok Maheswara. Sacrifice should be performed with this view in the mind, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Brahmarpanam Brahmaveda Brahmagnam Brahmanahutam Brahmayotena Gandhavyam Brahmakarma Samadhina. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness assured to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. The performer of sacrifice must always keep in view that the sacrifice mentioned in the Vedas are meant to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishnu or Aditya Pantha, anything material or spiritual done for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord is understood to be an actual yajna, and by performing such yajnas, one gets liberation from the material bondage. The direct method of getting liberation from the material bondage is devotional service, comprising the 9 methods. Sonam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sankyam Atmanivedanam. This ninefold process is described in this verse as Visuddha Vijnana Gnana, or satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly by the transcendental knowledge concentrated on the form of Supreme Lord Vishnu. This is the best method for satisfying the Supreme Lord. One who cannot take to this direct process, however, should take the indirect process of performing yajnas for the satisfaction of Vishnu or yajna. Vishnu is therefore called Yagyapati, Sriyapati, Yagyapati, Jagatpati, Bhagavat 2.9.15. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead's deep scientific knowledge is concentrated to the supreme point. For example, medical science knows something superficially, but the doctor don't know exactly how things happen in the body. Lord Krishna, however, knows everything in the detail. Therefore, his knowledge is Vijnana Ghana, because it does not have any of the defects of material science. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Visuddha Vijnana Ghana, concentrated transcendental knowledge. Therefore, even though he accepts karma, kandya, materialistic yajnas, he always the he always refer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead many transcendental.
He always remains in a transcendental position.
Yes, bro. Okay, bro. You can read, bro, please. Because it was pretty long and very exhausting for me.
No problem, no problem. He always remains.
Oh, sorry. I lost it. Here.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead's deep scientific knowledge is. Can you go a little up to? Little go, yeah. Little up. Scroll up. Keep scrolling. Yes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead's deep scientific knowledge is concentrated to the supreme point. For example, medical science knows some things superficially, but the doctors do not know exactly how things happen in the body. Lord Krishna, however, knows everything in detail. Therefore, his knowledge is Vijnana Ghana because it does not have any of the defects of material science. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Vishuddha Vijnana Ghana, concentrated transcendental knowledge. Therefore, even though he accepts karma, kandiya, materialistic yajnas, he always remains in a transcendental position. Therefore, the mention of Aneka Guna refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead's many transcendental qualities, for he is not affected by the material qualities. The different kinds of material paraphernalia or physical elements are also gradually transformed into spiritual understanding, because ultimately there is no difference between material and spiritual qualities, for everything emanates from the Supreme Spirit. This is realized by a gradual process of realization and purification. One vivid example of this is Dhruva Maharaj, who took to meditation in the forest to achieve material benefit, but ultimately became spiritually advanced and did not want any benediction for material advancement. Maybe come down to for material profit. He was simply satisfied with the association of the Supreme Lord. Ashaya means determination. Generally, a conditioned soul has the determination for material profit, but when these desires for material profit are satisfied through performance of yajna, one gradually achieves the spiritual platform. Then his life becomes perfect. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam therefore recommends akamaha sarvaka akamo va mokshakama udaradhihi तीव्रेण भक्ति योगेन यजते पुरुषं परम. Bhagavatam 2:3-10. Everyone, whether akama a devotee, sarvakama a karmi, or mokshakarma a jnani or yogi, is encouraged to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the direct method of devotional service. In this way, one can get both material and spiritual profits simultaneously.
Okay, tomorrow we continue with next verse. Or would you like to read one more for improvement?
Praveen Prabhu, today you shared the story that was very encouraging.
In
Which
fact,
one?
I derived a lot of inspiration or encouragement from that story, because that person whose name is Raju just came in touch with Anuttam Prabhu only a few months ago, maybe during the time of Vaikuntha Ekadasi, maybe in December. Okay, he immediately got that entire Bhagavatam set from Anuttam Prabhu and started reading the first canto. So, and he was able to complete it within a span of three or 4 months. So, and daily reading at least 10 pages. So that was so encouraging for me as well. And that's how we have to be in our spiritual practice as well, daily sadhana as well.
Yes, Prabhu, I need to read
So
this whole
Prabhu,
story.
reading
In which
book,
group it is?
reading book
I have
is
shared it
most
in every group.
important. I mean,
Oh, yes, Prabhu, now I see it.
Yeah, so Shubham Prabhu, you were saying something?
I also I am saying that reading book is most important.
Exactly, bro. Reading is one of the important legs of performing the devotional activities as well, bro. Because when we read Bhagavatam, we are directly in touch, in contact with the Supreme Personality of God. Because Bhagavatam is nothing but the actual personality of Godhead. actual Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should definitely get to the habit of reading Bhagavatam on a daily basis without any deviation or failure. That's why Bhagavatam is given more importance as well.
Yes, Prabhu. Oh, he chanted 16 rounds.
Exactly.
Oh, it's a
He
devotee.
started chanting 16 rounds. He gave up eating meat and he started attending Mangalarti as well. Mm, he started taking the Krishna Prasadam as well. That is in fact unbelievable.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice story.
Because last week I was able to speak with a devotee in one of the temples where we did some book distribution. I was not able to convince that guy. I asked him to visit our temple and take some prasadam as well, but he did not show up at all
Yes,
because he
Prabhu.
was completely in Sadhguru's systems, Sadhguru's what is called that group.
Yes, Prabhu, that's crazy. But yeah, this is from, he's a devotee from previous life and he has done 16 rounds maybe and now quickly he took it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he started continuing his devotional service from his previous birth where he had left it.
Yes, Prabhu, definitely. This is clear sign because so many cannot even do half round and they,
Right.
yes, Prabhu.
Right.
Who wants to start?
I will recite all these prayers, Prabhu. Please distract
Yes,
from
Prabhu.
others. चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापणं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्तवनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति. Let me complete. नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशीं याजनि नानुरागः ऋणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरिः न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीशकामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरी भवताद्भक्तिरहेतुकी त्वयि ऐनन्दतनुजकिङ्करं परितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलि सदृशं विचिन्तया कमलभो ऐनन्दतनुजकिङ्करं परितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलि सदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरा पुलकैर्जितं बभुक्कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रविशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां विनष्टु माम् अदर्शनं मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विद्वातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः.
Prabhu.
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated by years and extinguishes the fire of conditioned life or repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It is the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental magical energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names, O my Lord. Out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want a number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet, somehow or other, I have fallen into the ocean of birth. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hair of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken hearted by not being present with me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, but he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. श्री भिक्षाष्टमी की जय, चैतन्य महाप्रभु
Jai,
की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद
Jai.
की जय।
Jai, Jai.
बहु जन्म करे यदि श्रवण कीर्तना प्रभुता न पाए कृष्ण पद प्रेमाधना. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second offense is to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master and consider him as an ordinary person. Fourth offense is to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth offense is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Sixth offense is to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Eighth offense is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. Ninth offense is to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Tenth offense is not to have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Let us offer my let us offer our respectable obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desired trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Vancha
Vancha
kalpatarubhyascha
kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyacha
Namo
Vaishnava
Namah.
Antakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki,
Jai,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your association.
Ladibo.
Very nice reading session. See you again tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow we have Vista Goshti. Bol.
Yes.
Everyone try to join on time.